And then the Nigeria email phishing frauds. Now this is really simple. Anytime anybody by the name of General Matumbi Mabatu Wabumbu emails you, just hit delete. Nothing good can come out of responding to these emails. Now they ask you, greetings, in order to transfer $36 million from our bank, I have the courage to ask you for a reliable and honest person who will be capable for this important business, believing you will never let me down, either now or in the future. I am so honored. And you laugh. But the scary thing is that people are getting hooked every day, all day long in the United States. Every day. For a number of different reasons. Ignorance or stupidity.
Something for nothing.
Something for nothing. Greed. And also, new tactics that they are using is they are focusing on people who are lonely or desperate in some way or the other. They go after people who are vulnerable. And let's face it, there are a lot of vulnerable people in society, okay? I mean, you know, we're all in this thing together, right? But there are a lot of people out there that they just need a little help along, okay? And there are a lot of people that are at a little bit of a disadvantage, and that's who they're looking for. They're looking for people who are a little down and out who they can take advantage of. I mean, we all know somebody in our life that to one degree or another you could take advantage of if you really wanted to. Not that you would, but, I mean, you just know you could. Well, they're looking for that all day long. They prey upon those people. That's what they do. These are predators looking for the next mark all day, every day. And if you are a single man and they contact you and you respond to them, their next thing is to find out that you are in fact a single man, and they're going to send you a picture of them as a pretty woman. Even if it's a Nigerian dude. And they prey upon, you know, our emotions. Love and loneliness and all that stuff. They build relationships with you. And people get sucked in all the time. You know, some of your moms and dads, you know, even young kids, like, you just don't know. So you really need to monitor the internet behavior of all those in your lives, because, I mean, I know someone that, just over the past year, a good friend of mine struck up this relationship with a Ugandan woman. And, you know, he met her on this internet dating site, and they, you know, were going back and forth, and, you know, she was filling this void for him emotionally. You know, they were chatting back and forth, and this went on for like 3 or 4 months. And then all of a sudden, her goat died, okay? And so she asked him for $400 for a new goat. So he sent her $400 for a new goat. And I'm like, do you realize what you just did? And he says, well, you know, she needed it for the family. I said, you are not in love with a Ugandan woman. You are in love with a Nigerian dude. But he didn't want to believe me. But that's how some people are. Like, they just will put on those blinders to satisfy that love and belonging and its need. And this is a real tactic that they use, so pay close attention to that. And using the telephone. This is a fantastic scam that works all day, every day. There are boiler room operations going on all over the place every day that they're calling people and they are preying upon you. They're saying that our computers crashed at the Social Security Administration. We don't have your Social Security number. You're not going to get your Social Security benefits at the end of the month unless you give me your Social Security number right now. And some people believe that. Or because they know that they can't live without that Social Security check, they're going to give out that Social Security number just to be on the safe side. Or they'll call you and you'll say that you missed jury duty, and there's a $2,000 fine if you do not provide us with your information right now so we can reschedule. I need your Social Security number, or you're going to have to give me your credit card number and a $2,000 fine right now. One or the other. Social or credit card number. Okay, social. And people get sucked in every day. There is not a legitimate corporation or government agency, lottery for that matter, anyone that's going to call you asking you for personal identifying information over the phone for you to either gain something or because you're going to lose something as a result of not giving it. Do not give out your personal information over the phone ever unless you initiate the call. And when I say unless you initiate the call, that doesn't mean getting their number and calling them back. It means you making the call. Okay? Do your own research. If it's your bank, if they say it's the bank calling, fine. Call the number on your bank card to find out if that's the case. Do not give out personal information over the phone. There are hundreds and hundreds of different ruses they use, and they're really good at what they do. And we talked earlier about how people with the same name. Here's an example. Boston man sentenced for identity theft. Percy Wayne Martin pleaded guilty to identity fraud. Police detectives arrested Martin for buying goods at Neiman Marcus. Detectives determined that Martin had stolen the identities of 4 men named Wayne Martin to open up accounts using their personal information. So Percy Wayne Martin stole identities of guys named Wayne Martin. Already had IDs of his own, with his own name on it, got these socials of other guys with similar names, and just went on and opened up accounts under their names. That's scary, and that's very easy to do. So prevention do's, things you absolutely positively got to start doing, please. Credit. How many of you have checked your credit reports yourselves? You personally, you, not the bank, not the automobile dealership, you personally have checked your credit within the past year. How many? Good. That's about half the room. I need the other half to do it tomorrow. Very important you check your credit. Your credit is your financial well-being. You go to the doctor. You get a checkup. They draw your blood. They check your red count, your white count, your cholesterol, your pressures, all this, that, and the other thing. They do that to determine what your health is. And based on those results, they tell you to make changes, start doing this, stop doing that, and so on. It's the same thing with the credit report. It is your financial health. Understanding what's going on in your credit report will enable you to prevent identity theft or to respond to an existing identity theft. Checking your credit report is relatively easy. It's getting easier and easier every single year. The credit bureaus themselves are becoming more and more user-friendly. There is information in the back of the handout about the credit bureaus, but at this point in time, I'm going to point you towards annualcreditreport.com. This is free. You can get 3 credit reports every single year. One from Experian, one from TransUnion, one from Equifax. It's free. And you can see your credit reports on the internet. You can download them. You can print them out. You can also order them through the mail. And when you go to annualcreditreport.com, you can essentially find out if, in fact, your credit is in order or if there are opened up accounts under your name that you did not authorize. You've got to pay close attention to your credit report. I believe you should check your credit at least every 6 to 9 months minimum. Understanding what's going on your credit report is essential these days. Also, disputing any inaccuracies in the event that something shows up. Also, those in your life who you are responsible for, your kids, your parents, your spouse, and so forth, also check their credit reports. I'm responsible for my mom, I'm responsible for my mother-in-law, and so forth. So I check their credit reports. Their credit reports are my credit reports. I check them at least every 6 months because I'm responsible. If my mother-in-law's credit is compromised, if her identity is stolen, that comes back to me. I got to deal with it. So I check her credit. It's my responsibility. She's not going to be able to handle it. I know she won't. I'll have to do it. So I check her credit. Same thing with your kids or, elderly parents, whatever the case may be. And then let's talk about credit monitoring, credit freezes, and fraud alerts. Credit monitoring is a technology that you subscribe to for $10, $15 a month that monitors the activity on your credit. So, for example, if somebody checks your credit, a couple of weeks afterwards, you're going to get a call saying somebody checked your credit a week or 2 ago. If this was not authorized, then here's the company that checked it. Credit monitoring is a little bit of an older technology. It was good 3 or 4 years ago. Now it's a little antiquated. Now there's better technology. Credit monitoring was good, but now there's better. Credit freezes actually are the best thing that are out there right now. Credit freezes are literally locking down, freezing your credit right now so nobody, including you, can open up new accounts under your name. Credit freezes are available for $5 per credit bureau to all Massachusetts residents. And it's very easy to do. You can actually go online right now to financial, or go online anytime to financialprivacynow.org, and that's in your handout, financialprivacynow.org. You just click on Massachusetts, and it'll show you exactly what you need to do to basically freeze your credit. Now, the credit freezing process basically entails filling out an application, providing your Social Security number, and it's okay to do, along with a copy of your driver's license, along with a utility bill, okay? And then a check for $5 to each of the credit bureaus. And what that does is it locks down your credit so that anytime a creditor, a bank, an automobile dealer, a credit card company, tries to check your credit, they're not going to be able to, because your credit is frozen, which means that if an identity thief gets your information, they can't open up any accounts under your name. But it also means, too, that you personally cannot buy a new car without thawing the credit, without unlocking the credit freeze. Okay, so it's somewhat cumbersome for those of you who need fluid credit. You know, if you're in the process of buying home, selling home, refinancing, buying a car, selling a car, whatever the case may be, you may not want a credit freeze. But what you may want is a fraud alert, which is the next best thing. It's actually the best thing in a credit-driven society.